Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering December 15th to the 21st, or whenever you're guided to watch, as the intention into these sessions is they're always meant to be timeless, meaning you can come back anytime and the messages can resonate. So welcome. 'Tis this season to be merry and bright. I feel like I'm already feeling a big shift in energy from the last couple years in preparation into the new year. This prior week, we had the full moon in Gemini. We had the 12/12 portal, massive energies opening up. I believe on December 21st, it's either 21st or the 29th. I apologize for not knowing exact, but there is like an annular, or solar eclipse coming in. So this is like a massive movement of energy. So those of you Earth Angels who have been kind of expanding and growing and digging in and doing your shadow work, you may feel like high vibrational extra bursts of energy. Some of you who are just starting to awaken in a lot of ways, you may be feeling like a push or this uncomfortable feeling, kind of like a contraction from the universe trying to push you out of situations. And understand that no matter what space you're in, it's all good. So, you know, like if some of you are in a good space and you're feeling the excitement and you're feeling great, great. If those of you who are feeling the push and you're feeling contractions, that's great too, because it means you're birthing and in the energy of birthing new things. So it's all powerful and strong, and we all go through waves. We're all experiencing these contractions and rebirth and new beginnings at all different times. So I am going to tap into and capitalize on the energy of the season. Now, there's a quick disclaimer. I'm a very spiritual person, and God, that unconditional love vibration, is a very powerful #1 force that operates through my life. In no way do I ever think people should believe a certain way, imposing any form of religion on people. So when I use these terms, think about it as a vibration that works for you. God, source, creator could be an unconditional love vibration. I'm going to start with the Archangel Michael energy, who, oh my gosh, I'm already hearing sirens. Michael, I don't know if you can hear it coming. I hope you can hear that. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to start with Michael. That is so profound. I literally just finished a session with a client, and I was just talking about Archangel Michael, and I was just about to tell the client that Michael sends, and I said like I was going to say sirens, and the sirens started right outside my window. It was insane. So I knew that I had to pick Archangel Michael and messages from him to start with. Michael is the protector. He helps us to move through worries and fears. Some people interpret him as Saint Michael. There's a lot of cultures, especially I believe the Portuguese culture, that uses Saint Michael for protection. So I'm going to start with him, and I'm going to use his oracle deck. And then I'm going to get a message from The Answer is Simple, an extended message. I'm going to kind of use this all throughout the session. And then I'm going to tap into the essence of Mother Mary. She is known as the Queen of the Angels. In some beliefs, she was Jesus's mother. She's also the eternal mother energy. So like I said, take it in however it resonates. She's that pure love, nurturing, receptive, warmth, loving energy. And then I'll pull again from The Answer is Simple. And then I will get into loving words from Jesus. I mean, in a lot of ways, this is his time of year. And so I cannot let this time of year without tapping into his energy. So the next couple readings will be with this energy. And Jesus, for me, is a master teacher. He is an energy that I call upon frequently. As, you know, I believe his life here on this planet was to spread the energy of love and teach people about God. You know, there's this saying, love God and do as you will. I think it might be St. Augustine. Again, don't quote me. I have so much information that I'm downloading and channeling. So love God and do as you will. And basically that his teaching was that if you love God, then you do as you will. And in turn, what will happen is you will love his people and you would do right by them, but also do right by yourself, you know? So boundaries is a big thing that's been coming up. How do I love people, but also self-protect and take care of myself? How do I learn, especially with the earth angels, not to be a people pleaser or a pushover or easily manipulated? That's a shadow part of what we've come here to learn about. So like I said, it's all good. Pray big, joy to the world. So we'll tap into Jesus's energy. And then we'll finish up with the love and light, the big guy himself, that God, source, creator of the universe. We'll get a message from him. And then we'll get, I'll go back into the answer is simple. So I'm going to be kind of flip-flopping back and forth. Let me open space for us. And, you know, I cannot thank you enough for being here. My channel has grown, I don't know, I think I've had 500 new subscribers in a short amount of time. So I really appreciate that you're resonating with these messages. I appreciate that you are sharing this channel with your friends. I cannot say enough to your comments and your gratitude in the comments. It really lights me up because honestly, friends, I'm here alone in a room talking to myself. So I never really know how the energy goes out there. Of course, I trust and I know what goes out there is meant to be. Of course, we just never know how it's received. So I appreciate your feedback. It helps tremendously. So let me start with Archangel Michael. And I am going to call on all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance, and specifically the Archangel Michael, Jesus, and the Mother Mary. And I'm going to ask whatever messages come in be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of the Earth Angel Collective. All right, Michael. You have been showy this morning. You've been present and loud. What message do you have for the collective this week? What's the most important thing you'd like to say? Let's put this one here. All right, Big Mike. Let's see. Let's put this here. His first message. Ooh, admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. The message says, I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. So I feel like this speaks to those who may be feeling the contractions or the push from the universe. It's like you're being pushed out of a comfort zone. And it can be fearful, it can be scary. There can be this pressure with this 2020 energy that's coming in. I mean, there's a lot of intuitives, there's a lot of healers being birthed and coming out and opening up. There's a lot of information out there, all different kinds of information from all different kinds of collectives. And it's really important for you now more than ever to check in with your own intuition. If it feels right, take it in. If it doesn't, it's probably a message for somebody else. So what's going to happen is when you feel like, wow, that's for me, I can feel it. That's like truth. I needed to hear that. You're going to feel it in your heart. You're going to get like a zing in your solar plexus, and it's going to be like an energy that's going to flow up your chest, through your throat, third eye, and out your crown chakra. And it's going to be like, I'm inspired and uplifted by that. If you're getting messages that feel fear-based to you, that feel like there's a resistance to it, like almost like you want to run away from it, or almost that there just doesn't seem something right about it, that's your intuition saying, pause. This is a no. It doesn't mean no forever, but right now this is a no, and it's not a vibrational match. Even the best kind of information you can still be resistant to if you're not ready to hear it or not in the space to shift with it. I've gotten lots of information over the years where I was like, yeah, no, no way, not happening at all. And then boop, guess what happens? I'm in it. So it doesn't mean that my intuition was wrong. It just meant that there was some resistance to it, and I had to kind of explore that. So I feel like Michael's speaking to that part of you that wants you to, in the contractions or in the push, pull back and sit with that. Sit with the feelings in your body. I cannot speak to enough, especially divine feminines who are operating in the divine feminine energy. Your superpower, your intuition is in your heart and your physical body. The masculine energy, the divine masculine energies, your superpower, your intuition is in your gut feelings and your mental mind. It's like you have this masculine energy has this, and I so admire it, this incredible ability to like plan and problem solve and figure things out. And feminine energy has a beautiful way of coming into things through process. I want to experience this. I want to try this. I want to do this. This is why feminine energies may have multiple tiny bits of dessert instead of like one, because we want to explore, we want to experience. So you're getting to come into harmonizing these masculine and feminine energies within, but you also have to understand how you operate. And I feel like Michael is saying, like, admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. You know what I mean? If you are around people and they're just pushing your hot buttons, take a time out, take a break. You know, I've been sitting with many clients this last month, and one of the things I'm seeing is change. Like, people are changing like their traditions. You know, if they don't feel like going to visit somebody, or it's been like long and drawn out, or a journey or travel, and they're just not feeling it this year, they're lovingly opting out and making decisions as, according to what feels good. Peace and quiet. People are opting for peace and quiet this year. People are opting out of the insane materialism. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but earth angels are shifting out of that and getting into deeper levels of connection with humanity, and not through monetary things. It's through like connecting with people and sharing feelings and stories and like-mindedness. So if you're changing your traditions this year as self-preservation, great for you. If you're, you have to go in and work with family and stuff, maybe you're going to go into it with a different light. Maybe you're not going to go into it in a way that you did before. Maybe you've changed. And so Michael wants you to see how far you've come and check in with your own intuition on how you're feeling, and then make decisions from there, and not from a place of, well, this one's expecting me to, and I should, and all those old programs that we're releasing. So I'm going to use the answer is simple. I get one additional message. Michael, what additional message do you have? Oh, I love it. Oh, and it's purple too. Of course it is. So Michael is like an indigo color. A lot of spiritual intuitives connect with Michael with the purple energy. Purple is a very spiritual, it's third eye, it's crown chakra. And it's no coincidence that you have this beautiful soul here swinging on a swing. It's like joy and pleasure. I feel like I want to speak to that. When you're going to do something, ask yourself, is this invoking joy? Is this invoking pleasure? Is this making my heart sing? Now, laundry and vacuuming and doing dishes may not make your heart sing, but you can do it in a way that it does. So this is that part of like okay, I'm dreading this, but this needs to get done. How can I make it fun? How can I find new ways? So Michael is saying here, let go of the old ways of doing things. And another, the word let go can be harsh in a lot of ways. It can make earth angels feel like it can make earth angels feel like it's another thing that they're not doing right. I have to let go. I have to get over. I have to move on. So I like to shift that word into acceptance. If you can accept, this is your family, this is your job, this is who's here, this is who's not here. If you can accept, and it doesn't mean that you'll like it, it doesn't mean like it's ideal, but if you can accept where you are right now with whatever you have, whatever you're doing, if you can accept that and saying, if this is the will of the divine, from here you can move forward one step at a time. And that's when you open to flow. It's when you're resisting, it's when you're fighting, when you're not allowing something to happen. Remember, change only comes from a vibrational thought that I don't like where I am at. So when you're thinking and feeling enough, like, I hate this, I don't like this is not what I want, I don't like this, it's a natural for law of attraction and the energy to contract and push you out of that comfort zone. But the thing is, people think they're doing something wrong and then they resist the flow. So on some level, we ask for it, right? And that's how we grow as spiritual beings. So Michael, I feel like, is saying, I got you. All you have to do is surrender. That's going to be my word for 2020. I choose a word every year. This year for me, my word was magnetic. And boy, did I learn multiple facets of that word. So next year I'm choosing surrender. And it goes into a lot of this, surrendering into what is and the divine will, and learning how to practice that flow in that movement and no longer resisting change. So anybody who's resisting change right now, you're feeling that push. This is Archangel Michael coming in saying, I got you. We have the number 27 here, which equals 9, and 9 is like the ending of a cycle. So things are ending for you. And I want to say again, it's all good. God's got your back. So let's connect with the Mother Mary. So let's shift from the masculine into the feminine. And all right, Mother Mary, Queen of the Angels, what message do you have for the collective this week? It's interesting, I'm talking about birthing energy because I'm just realizing Catholics and Christians are celebrating the birth of Jesus. So it's beautiful energy to come in now. Energetically, we're birthing new things as we end a 10-year decade. So let's see. Let's go with these two. And we have honesty and family. I love it. So first off, family. Put this off to the side for a second. First off, we have, I pray for my family and give the situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. Beautiful. So here's the thing, friends. We have a shadow force within, the ego, the mental mind, and then there's a shadow force externally. Some people would call it the devil or sin or shadow. And it's being mindful when the shadow enters in and we come out of alignment, we feel it. Like things can get heavy, we can feel sad, we can feel depressed. And so I want to speak, and again, this is a general read, so it may not connect with everybody, but one of the messages that I'm getting from Mother Mary right now about her family, if you've got family members that are difficult, maybe you perceive them as closed-minded. Maybe they are or not evolved. And remember, that may or may not be their path in this lifetime, right? We're all different, and we all hold a vibrational match to keep a pull on the planet of polarity. So that's why I always say it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's just different, right? Men and women are different. We're vibrating at a different energy, and one and the other together is a powerful combination. This is why we're seeing masculine and feminine energies within us coming into alignment. And in that, it brings in the shadow, right? Look at the yin and yang symbolism, right? In the shadow, you have the light, and in the light, you have the shadow. It's polarity. So I want to speak to some of you as we go into this week, as you're going to gatherings and holiday parties with coworkers and family members, traditions, and maybe you're dreading it, you're having a difficult time like getting your energy going because you don't want to be around these people because it's uncomfortable. Remember, the most beautiful thing you can do is pray for yourself and pray for your family, especially those that are hard to love, because if the shadow can't get into you, it's going to move into your family members to affect you. And this is huge right now. A lot of earth angels are learning how to master the shadow within, and then the external shadow, which externally it could be power, it could be control, it could be greed, it could be materialism. There's all this low vibrational energy that we've all every single one of us has moved through on this human experience, and everybody's at different levels, right? When you think about grade school, there are kindergartners and there's sixth graders. No one is better than the other. They're all learning. So you're not going to judge a kindergartner for not knowing what a sixth grader knows, right? If you can think about the spiritual journey like that, it makes it less likely for you to pit yourself against other people, or I'm right and they're wrong. It's all different. And I have to say, kindergartners all the way to sixth grade and grade school, they all harmonize. They all help each other. I mean, granted, you got the typical bullies in there, but that's part of the human experience. But overall, they all do their own thing. They sit in their own classroom, they learn what they're supposed to learn, and they stay focused, right? So you got to think of like your family dynamics in that as well. And I feel like Mother Mary is saying, instead of looking at them as their beliefs are this or their beliefs are that, it's right or wrong, pray for them, right? Pray that their heart will open and they will fall into their thing, that they'll be receiving blessings so that they can bless the world. And maybe some of you are like, that's never going to happen. But you know what? Jesus is all about miracles. And I haven't even gotten to him yet. Is all about miracles. But I'm feeling Mother Mary saying, instead of the negative energy towards these people, pray for them. Pray for their souls, not for them to be better, so for you in the way you want, but just send them love. Universe abides by the law of free will. So unless somebody's asking, like the energy kind of falls short. There's this quick story. When I was in my 20s, I used to love going on ski trips, and I used to take these bus trips with some friends. And I remember I had just started learning about the Archangel Michael, and I had gotten on the bus, and I am not a morning person. You'll learn that about me. And when I do, I kind of like drag on. So I hasn't changed much over these 20 years. But when I got on the bus, I had this sleep mask, and I would put the sleep mask, and we would drive like whatever, the 4 or 5 hours to the mountain. The bus driver would. And so as soon as I would get on the bus, I would call on Archangel Michael. I would ask him to oversee and work with the bus driver to keep us safe. I would clear out the energy of the bus, and that's it. I'd put my mask on and I would go to sleep. Well, the ski trip we were going on, it was I think it was Sugar Bush, which was one of my favorite mountains. We were on our way up there, which is a longer trip, so there were 2 buses that were going. And quickly I learned how important it was to pray for others and not just yourself, right? We're all learning. I think this is important. Some of you may need to hear this. And so we get on the road. Obviously, I could feel us moving. So I could feel us getting on the on-ramp, and then right away I could feel us getting off. So I remember like, oh, what's going on? So I opened up like my eyes, and I asked my boyfriend at the time, what's happening? And he said that the other bus broke down and that we were going back to pick up some of those passengers, and then the rest of them had to wait for another bus. And and there's the sirens. My first thought was, oh my gosh, nobody prayed for the other bus. And so ever since then, here comes the sirens. Oh my gosh. I hope you can hear this. This is how Archangel Michael has been today. Like every time I talk about him, he's been like loud and proud. So some of you need to know about the Archangel Michael. Google him, Saint Michael. So anyway, my first thought was like, oh my gosh, nobody prayed for the other bus. All I did was pray for our bus. And so ever since that moment, when I'm in an airport, I pray, ask God to protect our plane. I call on the Archangel Michael to keep us safe. And every single plane that comes in and out, in the airport that I'm going to, in the airport that I'm in, and I always expand that. When I get in my car, I ask Archangel Michael to surround me, keep me protected. I put him 2 feet in front of me and behind me as like, and on the side of me as like a bumper. And then I pray for all the cars on the road that I'll be on for the rest of the day. So I feel like this is what Mother Mary is speaking to. You know, some of you are in your own space and they're just asking you to expand that for others. You'll be a blessing for others as well without having to physically do anything. So honesty, here's another message. It says, I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. Here it is again. So I'm speaking to, I feel like another part. I feel like these are the people, this might be a message for those of you who are those of you who are feeling good, like maybe you've been going with the flow, maybe you see and are getting insight and you can see the plan and you know where you're going. I feel like these two cards may be speaking to reinforcing, checking in with your feelings, and then using that energy to manifest. So if you're feeling good and you're like, oh, I'm just feeling the Christmas spirit or the holiday spirit, I'm just feeling really great and things are really coming into alignment. When you feel that in your body, radiate that out and saying, I want more of this in life, or God, bring me more of this in my life, or something even better. And so I feel like some of you are in a very high, manifesting, abundant, fertile energy. And the universe is saying, get in touch with your feelings. And when you're feeling really good, radiate that energy more so, which is one of the things that I learned about magnetism and working with the law of magnetism this year, and being magnetic and drawing things to me. That's like my feminine power, right? And so I feel like Mother Mary is also speaking to the blessings and the gift of when you're lit up and your light expands, you now become an inspiration for others. So you're an embodiment of that joy, of that pleasure. It's a divine gift for you to be in that space. There's a lot of people in this world who don't know how to access that yet. So know that those people who are feeling good and just really good about the place that you're at and excited about 2020, Mother Mary is also speaking to you and getting clear about your feelings. Like, are they truth? Are they within your integrity? Any low vibrational stuff, sit with it, understand it, ask it what its message is and what it's teaching you. And this is like the energy of forgiveness on so many levels. When you can look back at experiences that you felt like you were wronged or that hurt you, when you can look back and see how you've grown from it, when you can look back and receive the teachings from what those people taught you, therein lies the true essence of forgiveness. When you can look back and saying, I see it. Because of this person, I learned this, or I learned how to set a boundary, or I learned how to use my voice, or I learned how to say no, or I learned how to say enough. When you can see that, it spiritually releases them and there's a deeper level of forgiveness. So I feel like there's a lot of messages, friends. So please just take in what resonates, and then share it with a friend. So, okay, let's get one answer as simple from Mother Mary. Mother Mary, what is the answer? What do you want to say about this? Ooh, there we go. Oh, call your spirit home. So here, it's so funny. We have this joyous energy. We have this joyous energy. Call your spirit home. So, a couple things. These cards are really great because they're in the book. There's the interpretation of the ego and then the light. It's like the shadow and the light. And I feel like for some of you, the message is call on the divine for assistance, as that is the true essence of your home. So if there have been changes, there have been loss this year, know that your loved ones in spirit are home and they're sending you love. If you're feeling disconnected or lonely and things have changed this year, know that the divine is your sacred home and is there with you. And then also some of you, this is going to speak to some of you who are feeling lost. You're feeling the contractions of the universe, of the planetary energy right now on your life. You're being pushed out and it's saying, call your spirit home. Like, how much are you going to fight it? How much non-belief, how much negativity, how much honoriness and prickliness are you going to feel before you surrender? I have to say, friends, things got really hard for me before they got good. And I can speak to the power with calling your spirit home, getting back in touch with the essence of your true self. I made a comment to my cousin the other day and I said, if everybody just tapped into their thing, if everybody just paid attention to their own thing, like what their thing is on this planet, we'd all be good. And it seems so simple, but yet so incredibly complicated in so many ways because there's so much information out there that people are tapping into. So if you're feeling lost or confused right now, or you're missing a loved one, I feel like this card is speaking to y'all in so many levels. All right, let's get into Jesus. Okay, Jesus, what message do you have for the collective this week? This is your time. The birthing of a new energy. Wow, that came out quick. Interesting. So, the message says, "He that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father." John 14:12. And I believe the book of John was a lot about the miracle of Jesus, believing in Jesus, understanding this beautiful soul. So, "He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also." Right now, more than ever, Jesus' teachings are being expanded through earth angels. Love God and love his people is the core essence. You know, Jesus always encouraged people to love one another, despite what they believe, despite their religion. We talk about the Samaritans and the Jews and who's good and who's bad. And if you've followed any type of teachings like that, it was the human spirit always wanted to pit one against the other. And we're really outgrowing these paradigms. It's getting really yucky on this planet. And I feel like Jesus is saying, come to me. When I was struggling with faith and when I was a non-believer, I was like, there's no way there's a God with all this bad stuff happening on this planet. And, you know, friends, it was really that dark place that brought me back into the light. And so what I realized is, so one of the things that I asked was like, Jesus, tell me the story. What do I need to know? And a few books through that, since that time, has come along my way and was always about give love, spread love, be love, understand, take care of yourself. Because when you're feeling good, your energy radiates out and people around you feel good. And when they feel good, the people around them feel good. And when they feel good, the people around them feel good. So really, peace on earth starts within the self. And Jesus is saying that he believeth me, the works that I do shall he do also. Meaning, like, when you have him in your heart, you will naturally be that beautiful energy that he was on this planet. And then he says, I was just beginning to learn. But if you continue to receive me into your heart, I will teach you and you will do greater things than I could have. Which spiritually, this might get a little airy-fairy for some of you, or very high vibrational. For some of you, Jesus was one person. What's happening is his spirit, his energy is now being penetrated into millions. And so now this is speaking to, it's not just one person on this planet, it is many. And when you feel called, when you feel loved, friends, I joined a church and they're speaking about Jesus and it's faithful and it's loving, but yet it's all acceptance. It's all love. It comes from a place of understanding the spiritual journey, and it's powerful. And I have to say, I walk into this church and there are hundreds of people there, all different cultures, all shapes and sizes, all ages, and it is powerful. And I sit there as one person amongst this entire group of people, and they're singing and they're feeling good. Do you know how powerful that is? Now that energy is expanding all over the country, all over the world. And this is what he's saying. I was one man, but now because of my life and where I am now, I am going to start activating that energy into the entire planet. I've been saying in multiple readings that the engine is going to be starting, and And then God's going to be using us as our stormtroopers. It's no coincidence that you have all this Star Wars stuff coming out, right? And little baby Yoda and all this stuff. It's no coincidence that spirit is moving through people on all different levels in all different ways. And all we have to do is be open to how we receive it. And if you're in that place of like pushing it out in resistance or cynical, all I say, I was there too, friends, and all I say is, you know what? When you get to that point where you're just like, I can't take this anymore, say, I give up. God, prove it. Show me. And now look at me. Here I am, like almost 13 years later, and I'm working for the man, the quote unquote man. So your life will change in powerful ways. So let's see, an additional message from Jesus here. What additional message do you have for the collective? So powerful. Such a high vibrating message for you guys. Okay, let's go with this one. Stick with it. Yes. Oh my gosh, we have number 44, which is the angel number. Oh man, I swear, this is the power. This is the power here. Green is very healing. Green is the energy of miracles. So some of you might be like, yeah, Gladys, I need a miracle. Look at this climb, right? And in this, Jesus is saying, friends, I need you. I know it's going to be a climb, and there's a lot of resistance in this world. So the universe is saying, activate your thing. Are you a communicator? Are you a writer? Are you a healer? Are you a planner? Are you a processor? Are you one who's really good at a step-by-step process and can work with somebody who is imaginative and creative but doesn't know how to implement these things? We're all going to start banding together and finding our niche and being part of a team and a network. And Jesus is saying, I know this is what it feels like, but stick with it. The angels have your back. I can't. Love it. Oh, man. I love him. All right, so let's go to God's message. Where are we on the camera here? I apologize for the glare. Okay, now let's see. All right, God, source creator of the universe. What is the most important message that you have for the collective this week? In this high vibrating energy, the energy of rebirth, change, transition. What do you want us to know? Let's go with this one. Walk away. Walk away from illusions and toward truth. Show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road for me to follow. I just said this. So God is saying, listen, I'm channeling, and then I'm going to show you. Like, seeing God, it's like the divine and creator knows, and God knows that seeing is believing. That's the human ego. And so I've always been that way. This is why I speak a lot about signs and symbols and numbers, because seeing is believing. When I was worried about money one day and I walked out of a bank and the car that was sitting next to mine had a license plate that said GE 444. GE is my initials and 444 being the angels. I knew in that moment I no longer needed to worry, that I wasn't alone, and that I was going to be fine. And I am all these years later. One of the things I wish I didn't spend so much time doing was worrying, which is why I brought Michael in immediately. And so the worries and the fears, the illusions of how this is going to get paid, how this is going to happen, is it going to come into my life? I know there's a lot of energy out there with women right now, with having families, and there's a lot of energy out there with masculine energies and what's my thing and how am I going to create money with my purpose. There's a lot of shifting and changing that's going on, and I feel like God is speaking to those of you who might be getting lost in the illusions, which is the world of illusions, which is fear and worry. And this is a simple prayer, just a simple prayer of vocalizing. So when you can vocalize, when you can be prayerful and you can invite that divine energy in. Your free will is saying, I want to work with you. I know I need the power of your energy to get where I need to be. And so many, through the power of pain, are moving into the power of liberation and freedom and spiritual growth. It's a process we all go through many times throughout our lifetime. And so if you can say the simple prayer, show me the right way, show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road for me to follow. If you can pause this and screenshot it if you're watching on your phone, this is something that you can sit with. And basically you're saying, I'm open to receiving your divine will. I'm open to receiving the messages you have and using me to be a blessing in the world. Gosh, it's so amazing. All right, so one final message. The answer is simple. It's like we're taking complicated things and we're making it easy. Always. All right, let's see here. God, what final message do you have for the collective this week? You know what? I think I'm just going to pull this last one. Clear the fog. What? What? Can he say it in many... Can he say it in any other way? Clear the fog. And then we have 4 again. 1 + 3 is 4. So some of you may need to sit down and pull yourself out of, if again, speaking to the beginning of the contraction, being in the energy of the pushing and the fear and the resistance and feeling squeezed. Some of you may need to clear the fog, which is pulling back, going within and reminding yourself that you have this force that works through and operates with you. And I can tell you, friends, as I said in the beginning, I'm not here to preach and tell you how to do it and which way to do it. I'm here to show you that the power is real and it's alive and it's necessary for us as earth angels to access, to expand our light on this planet, which is so necessary right now. But the spiritual journey is finding your own way. This is why there's so many belief systems on this planet. One thing always leads to another. You know, I tap into a lot of different energies. I enjoy many different philosophies, and then I take it and I learn, and then I teach, you know, what I've learned through this journey. So you are on a soul path. I've been saying it this entire year. Soul as in singular and soul as in a higher vibrating energy. You have a soul that's working with you to expand light on this planet. And when light expands, it attracts the shadow, right? And so that fog or that shadow or those worries or fears or doubts can envelop you. And it's hard to see, right? Walk away from the illusions and towards truth. It's hard to see when you're clouded with the fog. If you've ever driven on a road that's foggy, the worst thing to do is turn the light up brighter, right? When I turn on my high beams, it makes it worse. So sometimes you just have to slow down and stop or pause or pull over and wait for the fog to clear. So if you're in a space right now where you don't know what else to do, that you've done everything you can possibly do and you're feeling out of control and there's a lot of things happening and you want to do and force and make things happen, the universe is saying, you got to clear the fog, pull over, have some laughter, have some fun, shelf these big things. If there's nothing you can do right now, if you've done everything you can possibly do, the research, you've sent the emails, or you've sent the resumes, or you've put yourself online if you're looking for love, or I should rephrase that, if you're open to receiving a divine love or a partnership, or anything like that, or the money, put it on pause for these next couple weeks and just leave it in God's hands. Just imagine putting it in God's hands, and then just get into the place of committing to the last couple weeks. I'm going to access the energy of pleasure. I'm going to access the energy of joy. The year before last, my word was joy, and I saw joy every year. And one of the quotes that I was told by I was on a spiritual retreat, and there was a woman who came along, and I had mentioned that I think this was 2018. I said that, you know, my word was joy for 2018, and she put her hands on my shoulders. She looked at me dead in the eyes, and she said, the joy of the Lord is my strength." And it shook me. It changed me. It changed the course of my entire year. And it was a miracle in a lot of ways. And it was just so powerful because I didn't know this person, and I just felt like my heart was touched. But I was also open to receiving all levels of what joy and what that meant. So sometimes it's not the feeling of joy inside, it's remembering that the joy of the Lord is your strength, that He has purpose for you, that He has meaning, He has guidance for you, and all you have to do is be open to receiving it, right? I'm going to preach again, the faith. All you need, what Jesus says, all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed, and you'd be amazed how your life changes in miraculous ways. Now, friends, I'm not here to change anybody's beliefs, or I'm not here to change things. I'm here to empower and uplift you. I pray that these messages inspired you, invoked this energy of light within you, but I also encourage you to explore that and explore your own spirituality and your own faith in your own way. And of course, I'm here. I can support you. I can give you guidance. In the description below, there's all my information and how I can work with you if you want to work with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I am in the process of preparing a subscription program. I know some of you have asked for me to pull more cards in the comments, especially with the pick a card readings. Some of you who have asked for extended readings, and so I've heard all that, and I'm going to create a subscription program where there'll be different levels. So one will start at like $10, and then maybe $27, and then $47, and then I have an idea for a private group for all these types of teachings to do group work for like $97 a month for like 8 weeks or something, and it'll all be online as well. So that's coming. Keep an eye out for it. If you liked this and you're resonating with this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Everything you do just supports me and allows more people to have access to this. So thank you so much. Let me close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance, Michael, Jesus, Mary, and of course, creator himself. And that's it. I wish you a lovely week. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.